just be yourself, have more confidence. I'm a person that becomes confident with knowledge, but just kind of, I think just believing in myself and that I don't have to be like everyone else to make it work.
From cornfields to high-rises, office to industrial, houses to hotels, and every other asset class in real estate, we cover the people, the projects, and the profit. Welcome to the Investing in Iowa show. This show is for go-doers, action takers, and business owners. It's for people like you who are sick of Uncle Sam taking a huge bite of your apple. If you're looking to get ahead of what's taking place in Iowa, learn who is doing what, and how you can get in on the action, you're in the right place. Hosted by Neil Timmins, an Iowa native who has been involved in over $300 million in real estate right here in Iowa. Recording in studio from West Des Moines. Here's your host, Neil Timmins.
I've got Kalen Ludwig here on the show. Kalen, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Neil.
I'm excited you're here. Say, for the audience to say, who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
Yeah. I'm Kalen Ludwig. I am a realtor with People's Company. I represent a developer in the Des Moines metro area called Diligent Development. And then I'm also a partner in Groundbreaker Homes, new construction home builder in Des Moines. So really kind of specialize in the new construction development.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Pella.
Yeah. Where'd you go to? You're in Pella. Grew up there. Where did you go after you left Pella?
Yep. I headed to UNI in Cedar Falls. I majored in marketing, and then I kind of fell into real estate by getting a minor in real estate. Yeah. And I kind of fell in love with that student in the front row raising their hand constantly, which was not normally me. So it kind of hit like, this is something I want to do.
I'm on to something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What class stuck out the most?
Honestly, I think it was that intro to real estate class, which is, we use the same book that they use to get your pre-class.
Yeah.
And I had a great adjunct professor that just told so many like real life stories. He had a lot of rentals and had sold homes, and it was just really had a lot of interesting stories.
So graduate UNI, and then what do you do?
My senior year at UNI, I went to Rho Epsilon Club. Yep. It's a real estate club. So I hit up they had some picnic deal that had a lot of the employers. And so Steve Brewer with People's Company was there. He was only, if I was 21, he was 23. So he was fresh out of college, had bought a company and was recruiting from UNI. He had also gotten to UNI. So met him. I was their first intern. Got licensed, sold a house in Cedar Falls while I was in college and thought it was the best thing. And it was a lot of money to a college student back then. So I got hooked. I moved to Des Moines after I graduated, where our main People's Company office was. And I did take another marketing sales position at Hamilton College, which got bought by Kaplan. I don't think they're here any longer, but it was great for me to get some cold calling and experience under my belt. I was still working part-time as a realtor, and I realized either got to jump in and do it or not. And so 2006, I went full-time.
That was it. I remember, I got into the business in 2004. So I certainly remember your name from forever ago.
Yeah, we were babies.
All of us youngsters at the time, cutting our teeth, trying to figure out how to just pay the bills, right? So 2006, you get in, you're focused full-time as a realtor, just buying and working with buyers and sellers. What was coming through that 2008 era like for you?
Yes. I don't have as defining moments as people that were really successful and then hit that dip, because I was,
right?
Yeah. So 2006, 2007, I'm, trying to get my name out there, doing everything I can, probably get a little momentum my third year, but then the rug gets pulled out from underneath us. I think one thing I can say is that there's always opportunities in those market changes. At People's Company, we started listing a lot of bank-owned properties.
I remember this.
And so a lot of development and lots and development land lots. We had a chance, somebody from Regency had came over to our office for a little while. So she had all the contacts at the banks. I think we were representing 17 banks locally in some form. And that got exciting. We're listing all this stuff, but then there wasn't a lot of buyers. So that's how Steve Brewer, president of People's Company, and then one of the owners of Diligent Development, got into the development world, was just seeing a lot of opportunities. Farmland was doing well, but development land was 50 cents on the dollar.
Right.
So
even development ground with some level of improvements already made to it, not just raw, undeveloped development ground. I'll use that. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah, I remember tons of signs at the time
Yeah.
for people's company, just everywhere. There were so many lots available.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then that's how we got into home building also. So now we get these lots we're trying to sell, and it's still slow. A lot of smaller builders couldn't get financing for their spec houses, or maybe they were only allowed to do one at a time. So Steve would finance them. A small builder would build the house. They'd split the profit, call it Groundbreaker Homes. And that's how we got into the business.
Okay.
And then after they were able to kind of start getting financing again, and that wasn't as attractive, then we decided, okay, are we going to keep going with this and hire a project manager full time and all that? And kind of the rest is history, just has evolved with time.
Yeah. At what point did you become involved with Groundbreaker, and then how has that changed over a period of time?
Yeah. So in the beginning, I was just listing the homes, but I really had been there from the beginning of like, okay, what designing floor plans, deciding what subcontractors we're going to use and all those kind of things. I believe in 2018 was when I bought into the company.
Okay.
Been there kind of from the start and have helped with a lot of the marketing and all the things.
Yeah. What's your role today look like there? What's that day in the life of there?
My title is director of sales and marketing, but we're building about 25, 30 houses a year. So we're a smaller team, wear a lot of hats, but my main role would be meeting with clients and if it's a custom home, talking to them about what floor plan, what lot, what do they all want in this house, and getting it to the point where we can package it up and put it in a contract and start building. From there, I get to stay involved through the whole build of just kind of help managing the team and kind of that customer relation of, okay, they have a question, let's get them the answers kind of thing.
Yeah.
So help with change orders, all that kind of stuff. So
you have seen builders come and go in this marketplace. What makes somebody a good builder? How do you get the time from a building standpoint? It's not just, I can't imagine it's just customer service or just building a product. Some of this has to be financial driven to go, yeah, those things must be true. But then also, you got to be able to be buying lots correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You are investing time, energy, effort, money, and then obviously, people resources inside of a company to pull off what it is that you do.
Yeah, there's a lot of answers to that question. Yeah, you touched on the lot side of things. I think it's always important for a builder to have lots in front of them, but not too many. It's a balancing act. We're a little bit blessed with Diligent Development that we always have that sister company that we are usually building our majority of our homes in there. So that is a great working relationship and kind of a asset to us. I would say reputation and it's anybody can go build a house or two, but then you have to warranty it, have happy clients at the end. And I mean, I would say one thing Steve has taught me through the years is this is just such a relationship-based career. So from day one, I just think everything I've ever done, I ask myself, is this going, are they going to would they refer their best friend to me?
Sure.
And I hope that, I get to the end of selling a house or building a house or whatever it is in this industry that they do feel comfortable, they can trust, they enjoyed the process, they're happy with the outcome. I think that's the main thing that we just keep coming back to is that reputation and making people happy, which isn't always, building a home and there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of people touch that house. I think also it's setting expectations and, hey, we're going to have hiccups and how we get through them. And we're a team. This isn't you against us.
Right.
We're a team. We're doing this together. And also having fun with it. My team has a lot of fun together and we enjoy a lot of the clients we work with and are friends with them at the end of it. And that's fun.
It shouldn't be all stress. It shouldn't be all stress through the whole process, even though it's nothing goes perfectly to plan. There are too many moving pieces in the construction of a home for that to ever occur. So you do need to be able to navigate some of that.
Yeah.
I find it interesting, when you set the end zone at, will they refer to me? Does the house close? That is very different. Because with an end zone there, your actions and the process of procedures you put in place are completely different.
Very much so. Yeah. If it's just a transaction and a number and, kind of write them off after the closing, it looks different than taking it through, years from now. So, and I think one thing too is we're building in the same communities. So we'll probably get into it, but we've got a large scale planned community. So I've got a lot of years that, you're going to be driving in that same neighborhood and you want to make sure that you are proud of that.
Right.
And you can wave and feel good about people waving back.
Well, I mean, word of mouth referrals is the best marketing. It's also the least expensive marketing that occurs.
Yeah, I've tried, I'm sure you and I both have tried a lot of avenues and you can try to pay and buy yourself referrals. But I just feel like at the end of the day, a lot of stuff is more referral based and relationship.
Yeah. It helps when you're in this business 20 years, doesn't it?
It's
not so easy in the 2006 era. You didn't work this hard to earn next to nothing on your money. Savings accounts barely move the needle. Tech stocks, AI stocks, it kind of feels like Vegas out there right now. Rentals, too oftentimes it means tenants, toilets, termites, and not the cash flow you were thinking. Well, so I've got an alternative. Little Guy Loans Co-Lending Fund. Qualified accredited investors are earning 10 to 11% annual passive returns. It's paid quarterly by co-lending with us alongside me on short-term first lien real estate loans right here in the greater Des Moines area. Your money's backed by a real property, not promises, stays close to home. We've successfully funded well over $10 million in loans right here in central Iowa. So if you want steady income without headaches, click the link below in the show notes. Let's connect. We'll see if it's a fit for you. Talk to me about your work with Diligent. How involved, if any, are you there from the lot standpoint?
Yeah, so I definitely am part of that team. We get together usually every other week and have a team meeting and go through every one of our projects, just updating each other on sales, progress on development or new, whether it's new pieces of land we're looking at to develop. And so I'm pretty involved from just kind of knowing where we're all at and collaborating together. I'm not the one that's actually like developing it or sending it out to bid or anything like that. So,
but do you feel like you get some sort of information advantage? If you know how many lots are being developed, you know what lots are being sold, at what clip the lots are being sold at, you have a really good understanding then to follow it down kind of like something working its way through a snake, right?
Mm-hmm.
You follow down this pipeline to go, okay, cool. I know what lots are being sold. I know who they're being sold to in this city, not just from Diligent, but you are so closely tied to the development side of things. I know what's getting built. I know where it's getting built. I know what's selling. Does that help you formulate your decisions on we should be in these areas and the product we build should look like X?
Yeah. I mean, all those dots you definitely tie, which building permit numbers and new construction sold numbers and what communities are seeing more growth and what's oversaturated and all those things. I do something, or I help host a builder and developer luncheon every winter. So that'll be, I think it's like March 6th this year, and where we usually have about 400 people in the community of builders, developers, city leaders, bankers, all the people that get involved in that new construction development world, and just, helping to analyze those numbers and being a resource to other builders as they look at where they want to build next or where they want to take down commitments has been a really great thing to play a part in this community.
In your building, how many or what percentage are spec homes versus customs?
So day one, we were pretty much 95% spec homes. I suppose everyone's different how they get into it, but we didn't have a lot of processes in place for custom home building when we were entering the market. You'd take on one or two and they were not an easy, as when you don't have a lot of processes. As we've grown, I've just really gotten more into the custom side and really enjoy that probably more than spec. I mean, it's just a lot more rewarding for me to take people's dreams and then see it executed at the end versus just our hopeful, let's throw this in and I think that'll do well. I mean, I like having both. I think we have specs to drive the customs at this point. Sure. And so we are probably 50-50-ish at this point, but I really enjoy the custom builds. And you asked me 10 years ago and I was like, oh my gosh, they're just so stressful. And it's crazy how when you really get things down and keep tweaking those processes, at the growth there.
Is there a specific type of personality of the person who chooses to build a custom home?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because I kind of work with a lot of different personalities. I mean, there's definitely some that are more laid back, don't get as specific into, they're like, I don't know if, what's your standard? That's good. And then there's people that really overanalyze every detail and can a little bit get in their own way, make it a little harder on themselves. But some of those people also like have built a couple homes before, and then they really know what they want.
Know what they want.
And, you know, I'm kind of like wherever you are, we'll meet you where you are. Yeah. And if you want a little, I don't know, more of a track of like, here's some standard things to pick from. And then if you're more like, I have very detailed things and some of it we've never, you know, I'm always learning. Oh, we've never done that before. Yeah. Let me research it. And so we're pretty flexible on customization, and just sometimes it's a little bit of a learning curve. Yeah. There's always new things to learn.
One of the things I've read over the last couple of years, and what's your take on it, is that to combat really the rising interest rates and the argument that things are becoming more unaffordable by rising prices, coupled with rising interest rates over the last few years, that the average size of a new construction home has actually fallen over the last couple of years. Have you seen that? Are you guys building like that? What does that look like here locally?
I think I've seen that. I would say like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, building like over a 2,000 square foot, 1-story home, like on the main level, yep. You'd see more of that. And like today, it kind of like, it's like that starts to sometimes be $1 million house, right. Which is great. I mean, depends on all the things.
You can spend $1 million real quick today.
Yeah. Right. So I think people are picking sometimes quality over quantity or size. But really and that might be because like the customs that I'm seeing in some community, like that's the market I'm looking for. And yeah, I think I personally can see like, I don't need this huge size square footage wise, but I want some of that quality, and I want to put some things in that I know. But then there's other people that care more of just, I need the footprint. We'll add some of those things later. So
has anything changed in the development of lots? I'm thinking width of lots that would have led to the reduction of size of square footage in a home, or is it largely just really a function of affordability?
I think that builders have been pushing cities to allow a little bit smaller lots to help with what you're talking about of affordability. And they've been getting on board the last probably 3, 4, 5 years. It seems like more than maybe 10 years ago. That being said, there's, you know, areas they allow that, areas they don't. It just kind of depends city by city on what they allow. It's kind of interesting. I mean, tiny homes, you know, you can get online and see all these podcasts and all these people interested in smaller tiny homes. Yeah. But then you know, try to work with cities on like allowing that. And a lot of times they don't. So it's like, I'm not sure where you're putting those. We've been involved with a community, Cumming, I'll just mention, Middlebrook Agrihood is a planned community that I'm very involved in. And with our PUD, we did allow for smaller homes. I don't know if you'd necessarily call them tiny homes, but we're doing like about 1,100 square foot, 1-stories on slabs. So just a lot smaller than you usually might see covenants allow.
That's great. I wouldn't call those tiny homes.
No,
because you know, what I've read a lot in the press is there's a tiny home area that's now been approved, and it's ultimately becoming a camp for the homeless, that the homeless are going to migrate out of wherever they are today into these tiny homes. And then I wonder if that creates a stigma in this community, because you have not seen a tiny home development put in anywhere with any size. You read a lot about it in the coast, and it's kind of trendy and cool, and you can get away probably as a result of the weather a little differently versus what you can here. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. The 1,100 square footer, I think, is fantastic, because that's a terrific starter home for somebody. Yeah. Somebody at the, you know, kind of that senior, if you will, somebody just doesn't need or want the space. Talk to me about Meadowbrook for those who don't know what it is.
Yeah. So Diligent Development has created an Agrihood. And if you are checking that out, Googling what that is right now, there are quite a few around the country that have popped up. Yeah. They're really development around agricultural components. So a lot of developments you think are around a golf course, take out the golf course, put in town garden, maybe some chickens with fresh eggs, orchards, a lot of trails, and just that connection to nature are what you see within a lot of them.
Yeah. Huge development, you as you alluded to early on, that you're going to be there for years. Just talk to me about kind of that size and that scope.
Yeah. So this is just south of West Des Moines and Cumming. So 800 acres is way more than the small town of Cumming currently is. Yeah. So I feel like we're like kind of creating or adding to the rural charm of small rural Cumming, Iowa. Yeah. We're we're connecting to their little main street with a main street town center area. Again, a lot of times we're looking at what was Pella, Winterset, Adel, all these small towns around Iowa. What's so charming about them? Why do people still want to live there? Visit, the town square, the walkability, the close community and neighborhoods, and the architectural uniqueness that you see in some of these towns that were built a century ago. We've looked a lot at the Beaverdale neighborhood and, south of Grand. Why do people still want to live there a century later? Why do those houses sell so quickly? And creating communities that aren't so cookie cutter and really hold their value 100 years from now. So that's kind of what we're trying to do.
The work that's getting done down there is just incredible. Yeah, I was just at a dinner down there. Maybe we're at the same dinner. Yeah. I don't know, a month or so back. Man, I love it. It was the first time I ever had dinner there. Fantastic. And I love seeing the progress that's being made there, the main street that's going in. Pulse company is moving there.
Yeah, we'll have our headquarters there here
just
in
coming
a couple months.
Yeah, it's really cool to see what's taking place there. And I live in Cumming, so I'm just down the street anyways. It's
That's
great.
Awesome.
It's very cool to see the progress.
Haven't a Friday at the farm yet?
I went last summer.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
So that's so another thing about Agrihoods or Middlebrook in general is we're trying to do a lot of community programming. So on Friday nights, May through September, there's like live music and food trucks and a little farmers market vibe going on. We've had like 1,000 people some Friday nights and it's free to the public. So everybody can come down and check it out and kind of get that. I feel like it gives a good impression of what we're trying to create in Middlebrook just to come check out a Friday night. And we give tours of the homes and check it out.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool.
If you're a house flipper, execute the burst strategy or do double closings and are in need of money, Little Guy Loans is your go-to lender here in the Des Moines area. Time is money. Loan approvals in 24 hours. Closings in 5 days. Little Guy Loans was founded by Neil Timmins, an investor just like you. Since he has been in over 10,000 homes in Des Moines, there's never an appraisal. Houses, multifamily, and commercial property loans up to $1 million. Check out www.littleguyloans.com.
Talk to me about personally investing. What types of things are you involved with? What types of things are you looking for or planning to do in the coming years?
That's a good question. Being a home builder, I have had the opportunity to personally just purchase some of our townhomes that have been great for like depreciation purposes and then just long-term hold. I think it would be great. So I have 5 townhomes currently that I do rentals. And then I'm going to have my second Airbnb here next month.
Right.
So I have 2 short-term rentals and I guess 5 long-term rentals that I'm holding and kind of plan to hold those pretty long-term, I think. We'll see, I guess, and probably keep adding a little, just, even 1 to 3 new townhomes probably a year. And that'll slowly work its way up.
Yeah. It builds over a period of time.
Yeah. So obviously real estate has been a big part of my long-term investment.
You definitely get the advantage from the new construction standpoint. You know the warranty, you know the product, you're not going out like I would do and buying whatever it is it happens to be out there. I'm kind of go in with try to eyes wide open, inheriting somebody else's challenges and going in and fixing those.
Yeah. I've thought about like flipping or just, purchasing something to fix up. And I'm still interested in that. I feel like by the time I finally was kind of ready to pull the trigger, then the market like changed on me and it's like hard to find good deals like in this market with just not a lot of inventory, things that felt like they need a lot of work or not priced as low as they were in certain markets. So maybe there's a time to, keep my eyes on that. And because I had the subcontractors that I could do that with too.
You got the team to execute.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the Airbnbs. How do you manage the current one that you have in service?
So I do have a virtual assistant. She is in Florida. She's been amazing. She worked for a commercial agent who also had Airbnbs when I hired her, and I didn't even have an Airbnb. So she ended up having a background in that, and she also, I think, runs a couple other ones. KRM in town has 1 or 2 listed with her, and she's got one in Colorado for a client. So she does a lot of that, like marketing, and puts it on all the websites, pricing, talks to people as they, have questions or come stay. So that's been a huge blessing. Honestly, it's probably a little more work than I would have thought. And so if I didn't have her, I don't know if that would work so well. I think I would have to have support.
Fair to say it's not just a real estate play, it's a hospitality play.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's been fun. The first one is it's over by the airport in Des Moines, and it's got an amazing backyard with a pool and tree house and all the things. So we've also used it for our family just to entertain and have some fun parties. And then the second one is in Middlebrook. Groundbreaker Homes owns it right now. We've been running it. I'm gonna close on that and own it personally in the next month. So I guess I have been running that one. And then the farmhouse that's like by the garden, we also run as an Airbnb Monday through Thursday, and then do events on the weekend or rent it out for events. We have kind of 3 that we've been running.
Yeah, it's we've got a couple, and I don't manage them. We third party them, somebody else, but they can do really well.
Yeah, our luck for this, or like in the summer, the one that I have with the pool does amazing.
Yes,
and it's like. I was about a month ago, I'm like, okay, I should set aside a couple weekends for my family. I looked and it was like getting booked out for the whole 2026 already. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I hadn't realized, which is great. But then like the winter months for us, we're trying to find like some maybe nurses or something that need like a couple months because those get a little sparse from our experience so far. So we're kind of working on how to fill in those vacancies.
Yeah, it can be feast or famine, or sometimes both in the exact same year, depending on the particular property. Do you see yourself leaning into more Airbnbs in the future, or more of the new construction stuff?
I'm thinking if I had to pick right now, I think maybe running 2 or 3 is probably good on the Airbnbs, or else I did one out of state or something like that at some point as like a place we could vacation. Yeah. I don't know if I would add any more inventory in Des Moines, to be determined though. Yeah. But I'm thinking more of probably add a 3-plex or something like that every couple years for more long-term rentals.
Yeah. No, that's great. As you look forward to the 2026 all the way the rest of this year, what are you most excited about?
I would say the momentum at Middlebrook has been really exciting this last year. And I'm just really excited for People's Company to all move in down there. I think it's going to feel really vibrant, just adding 60, 70 employees down in Cumming, Iowa. And just I've gotten to be a part of more of the commercial side down there. And that's just something new. It's always, I enjoy just adding like something new every year that I've never worked on before. So I think Middlebrook provides me the most entertainment, I guess, from that perspective. Just like so many new things. Looking forward to we're starting to talk about and plan for the builder luncheon in March. That'll be good. It's a good question. I don't know what else to say.
You got a lot going on there. You have your hands in multiple things. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I guess we're starting 30 cottages. So those small 1,100 square, we're starting those all at once. And so we've never done something on that scale. Usually we're building we'll start a 3-plex and we'll start the next one. Like if we're in a townhome project, we're not doing 20 at a time. Yeah. We did get some workforce housing grant money
great.
For these cottages. So that was able to help with the overall pricing. And they start at $319,900. So I'm really proud of entering that new price point into Middlebrook. Yeah. And I think we have 5 pre-sold already, and I haven't put them on the market. So I feel pretty good about the interest. But yeah, that'll be a unique opportunity and challenge as Groundbreaker starts something like of that scale. Yeah. And so just for our team and our subs and all of us to pull that off, I'm excited, but a little nervous of just how that'll look.
When does it start?
Like in a week or 2.
Okay.
So it's time. We've been planning. So.
Yeah. But that's exciting. All the new things you get to tackle and that's pretty exciting. Kalen, ready for the final 3 questions?
Yes.
Great. If you had one piece of advice for your 20-year-old self, what would it be?
Just be yourself. Have more confidence. I'm a person that becomes confident with knowledge, but just kind of, I think just believing in myself and that I don't have to be like everyone else to make it work. 2 books that changed your life. I would say Let Them by Mel Robbins. Thank you. Mel Robbins. She's so great. Yep. I love watching anything with her. Emily, my wife, and I are going to see her in Minneapolis here in oh my gosh, I think April maybe. Really? Yeah. I should look that up. Love Mel. Okay, good question. I don't know if you've read Bill Knapp's book, but that's a good book to read just to hear the history of Des Moines and all the players. And I don't know, just really I think that's a good one for anyone in Des Moines to kind of understand the history of
The
real estate.
history, yeah, because he was so involved, so material in shaping the city.
Very much so.
Huge. Yeah. If you were cast away on an island for 1 year, you could only get 3 pieces of data about your business each and every month. What 3 things must you know every month to know how your business is running?
I would like to hear what everyone else. I have to start listening to more podcasts.
Yeah.
I would say number of number of meetings with leads.
Leads top into the funnel.
Leads and then conversion to meetings.
Yeah.
I like to know where what our profit margin is on each house or the average at any given moment. I just think having a pulse on that, and then I just probably track number of starts and pendings and close. Just that, having all that at my fingertips constantly is
to have a really good pulse of where the market is and what's the velocity of that typically gives you a pretty good sense of how quickly we're likely to sell, I suspect. Yeah. Kalen, I've asked lots of questions. What's one question I did not ask that I should have asked?
I just think the opportunity that I've had at People's Company and the growth there, it's been really cool to see. I didn't really mention that People's Company is a land agricultural company, so it really plays into the whole Middlebrook side of things. But we've expanded from a small little mom and pa in Indianola, and I think we're licensed in 37 states now. So it's really cool because I'm getting to know people throughout the country that are appraising land, managing land, and selling farmland. And just the growth that I've had being here for 20 years and meeting people as we continue to expand has been really cool.
It's incredible to see what the whole team has been able to build over there.
Yeah.
It is really, really incredible. A lot. They think of us as flyover country here, but ridiculous amount of opportunity here. So much potential that's here.
You're right.
Yeah. For people who want to find you, follow you, connect with you, where can they go? What should they do?
Yeah. My website is Kalen Ludwig, so KalenLudwig.com. I have a blog on there that I do quarterly with new construction development stats. And yeah, all my contact information is on there.
The link's below in the show notes, everybody. Kalen, I appreciate you being here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. If you're enjoying the show, may I ask a favor of you? Naturally, subscribe so you never miss an episode. But would you rate and leave an honest written review on Apple Podcasts? It does a lot for us here at the show, and I appreciate reading your thoughts. Great guests make for a great show. If you know of another island who would be a great guest, or you yourself have interest in being a guest, well, get on our radar. Visit Investing in Iowa to fill out an application or recommend a guest. And if you want to connect with me one-on-one, go to LegacyImpactInvestors.com. Click on the Invest With Us button in the top right corner, and there you can pick a time for the two of us to get on the calendar and connect. Until next time, keep investing in